sure you understand this in the first go. Now, this is very, very, very important for the AI perspective. Okay, it is not important for data science. It is not important for machine learning also, but it is very important for AI. Okay, please make sure you understand in the first go, and I mean, avoid any confusions in the later part of the later part of the session. See the definition. In Python, a function is a reusable. Yeah, in Python, a function is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task or a set of tasks. Okay, please make sure you understand in the first go. In Python, a function is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task or a set of tasks. Now, what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? Let's understand with an example. I'll give you one example where, let's say, I want to find code to return whether the given number is odd or even. Okay, odd or even. Now, listen to this carefully. If I want this, what I'll do, what is the condition? The condition is I'll be mentioning the number. Let's say number is equal to 5. And if this number mod, let's say 2 is equal to 0, then we are printing the value that is even. Else, we are printing it is odd. Very simple. Yes or no? Right? If I run it, you can see it is giving me odd. And if I change that to an even number, it is giving me even. Now, we know this particular question or we know this particular code. Now, imagine after 15, 20 days, what I'll do is I'll quickly ask you what is the code for to find out the value, whether the value is even or odd. Okay, if you don't know the code also, just if I give you a number, find me whether it is odd or even. Okay, this is the task I'm giving to you. If I give you one number, find whether it is a odd or even. Now you have to show me. Now, how will you show me? Okay, now this is the question. So what you will do is this particular program that you have written just now, you are saving somewhere. Okay, just like you saved this DSML AI batch 1 in Google Drive. Let's say I will be saving this particular file inside one function name. Now this is a file name we call it as, but this is a function. Okay, so let's put this entire code inside a function. So what I'll do is, first of all, I'll give a indent, and here we'll create a function. So to create a function, you are mentioning def. Def means we are defining a function. Now here I'll mention the function name as odd even. Okay, just like a variable name, you're supposed to give it. You cannot start with a number. You cannot give a space. So let us give the function name as odd even. And whenever you're giving a function, you have to open and close a bracket. Okay, and also a colon is must here. Okay, define odd even and open and bracket. I mean open and close bracket. Now, what we are supposed to give inside this bracket, what we are supposed to provide inside this bracket. Now, inside this bracket, you are providing the number. Okay, you are providing the same variable name num that you have provided in the if condition. Okay, now this is called as a parameter. Okay, now this is called as a parameter. Don't worry, I'll show you the syntax also. Now, if I run it, what do you think the output will be? If I run it, can you tell me what might be the output? Anybody? If I run it, what might be the output? Exactly, it is nothing. It is nothing. Why? Because see here, odd or even, and we have provided number, in the sense parameter, right? We have not provided any value for it. It is not, I mean, it is basically this particular file has been stored inside this odd even function. Okay, it is just stored inside it. Now what you're supposed to do is you are supposed to call it, or basically you are supposed to open it. Just like we are opening the file, we are supposed to open the file. But here we are not basically terming it as opening a file. Here we call it as function call, or basically we are calling the function. So to call the function, you're writing the same function name, that is odd even, and inside the bracket, now we are providing the value for that num. Okay, for example, if I give the value as 5, so what happens is that 5 value will be reflected here, and the 5 will be 5 mod 2 is equal to 0. It will check it is, if it is not, and it will print odd. Let's see. Can you see? It is printing odd. But if I give the value as even, let's say 6, can you see it is giving me the value as even. Okay. Now what I'll do, If you think it will run in the same cell, no, it will run anywhere. Okay, if you go to the new cell also, if you run it here also, I mean, if you call oddEve and if you give the value, let's say 7, can you see it is giving me the output as odd. So you don't have to write the exam, I mean, write the code again and again. Okay, you don't have to write the code again and again. What you're supposed to do, it is stored automatically inside the function name. You're just calling the function name. So whenever you're calling the function name, every single thing that is inside that function will run automatically, and you're just providing the value for it. So once you're writing the code and you're saving the function name, now every time you require that code, you're just calling the function, not the entire program you're supposed to write. Now this is the biggest advantage of using a function. Is there any doubts regarding this? Is there any doubts? Okay, I'll give you one task that you're supposed to do. Yes, now this is called as a code reusability, right? Exactly. So it is called as code reusability. You can see reusable block of code. Now, let's say I be using this particular code again and again and again in my function, or again and again and again in my program. So what I can do, instead of writing it once again and again, I can just make use of this function. We are calling the function and put it inside the program. What it will do, it will just extract that code from the function name and it will execute. Okay. Exactly. Reduces the line of code. Very good. Now what I'll do is, see, instead of manually writing this, okay, is there any method that we can ask the user what type, I mean, what number he wants to input? Can we ask the user? Let's see. Exactly. We are supposed to use the input, but how to use it? See, here I'll just copy the same thing. Code to return whether the given number is odd or even from the user. Okay. Now what I'll do is, I will not mention a parameter. Okay. I'll remove the parameter now. Okay. And inside the function, now here, I will ask the value from the user, that is num is equal to input, enter a number. Okay. Now what happens is, this entire program is present inside the function oddEve. So you don't have to call it, I mean, you don't have to give manually the value here. Automatically, it will run this. So whenever it is running this, first thing that it will be asking is enter the number. So once you have entered the number, it will be stored here, and it will check whether number is divisible by 2 and the remainder is equal to 0. If it is, then it is even. Otherwise, it is odd. So you don't have to give it manually, but instead, I'll just run it once again. Yes. Now, well, we don't have to give any value. You're just calling the oddEve and you're basically running it. So can you see here, it is asking me the number, let's say 6. Okay. Can you see it is giving me the output and it is stopping. Now, let's say I have multiple numbers. Okay. Let's say I have to check for 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 9. Now, these main numbers I'm supposed to check manually, or basically it should be asking me the input value, and we are supposed to put that value inside it, and I'm supposed to get the output. So what I'm supposed to do, so that I'm supposed to, I'm supposed to no, exactly. So how many times we are supposed to loop it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, 6 number of times we are supposed to actually loop it. But the problem is, let's say we have more than that. Okay, first of all, we'll do it. I'll give you the perspective of how to do it. First of all, let us give the intent for the for loop. Now let us write the for loop for I in range of what is the range? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6. Okay, now it is giving me 1. So I'll mention 2, I'll mention 3, I'll mention 6, I'll mention 8, I'll mention, I'm sorry, I have not given the value for the last one. We'll run it once again. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 6, 8. Okay, I've given 7, not a problem. Okay, so can you see exactly it is running 6 times and it is ending. But can we say every time this will be given? No. So it might be more than this also. So what is the solution for this? It can be more than this. No. What is the different, I mean, one more loop that we have learned? Exactly. It is a while loop, right? So if I use a while loop, basically I can run it infinite number of times, correct? So I'll just change this to while and I'll mention true. Okay. But the problem here is it will loop it infinite number of times, right? It will loop infinite number of times and you have to, there should be an option where you can stop it, right? So first of you can, uh, let's say if the user enters 0, okay, if the user enters 0, then it will basically stop. Okay, if the user enters 0, that means the loop will stop. Let's see. So I'll mention elif if the number is equal to 0. Okay, if the number is equal to 0, we can mention number is 0 and we are supposed to break the loop. How to break the loop? We are supposed to write a function called as break. Okay, this will basically break the loop and we'll go to the else condition. And here we can mention the value as odd. Now let's see. Let's run it and let's run this. Okay. Now we'll give some random value 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see it is basically running, right? It is not ending. So if I give any value, let's say some random value, you can see it is even and it is giving me some odd. I mean, it is basically running until unless I press 0. You can see. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Because anything that is, if the value itself is 0, obviously, yeah, that is a problem. So what you have to do is this condition. So I'll manually stop it. Yeah, that is the reason you have to try and test. So what is the thing is this condition should be first. Okay, this condition should be first, and it should come. I mean, whatever the next value is there, or whatever the other values are there, that should be the next condition. So what I'll do is I'll change this to number mod 2 is equal to 0, and this I'll change to number is equal to 0. And let's change the print statement also. Okay, now let's run it. Here also let us run it. Okay, let me give 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, okay. It is only running twice. Why is that? Oh, I'm sorry. We have not removed the break. I'm sorry. Let's run it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So it is running now. So until unless I give 0, you can see number is 0 and it is basically stopping. So basically, this is how you develop a program where if it is very much complex and you are not able to understand the first go, what you're going to do is you are trying and testing. Okay, test it until you are getting the correct answer, and basically store that particular code inside a function. So anymore, if you want to use it, basically you can just call that function. You don't have to write the entire code. Okay, you just have to call the function and it will do everything for you. Okay, you don't have to write the code again and again. So this is the helpful feature of Python where you can understand the meaning of functions. Any doubts? Any doubts regarding the functions? Okay.